It's been almost 2 weeks since the election, and Trump has picked nearly 30 people to work in his administration so far. None of them are black. After all the ass-kissing by black Trump sycophants Tim Scott and Byron Donalds, they got passed over for the top positions in government. Tim Scott literally got on his knees in the sand to get married to a woman for the first time in his life at nearly 60 years old and professed his undying affection for Donald Trump.
I just love you.
And he still didn't get a job. Byron Donalds let a white man pat him on the head, extol the virtues of Jim Crow segregation, and traveled across the country singing Trump's praises. And he still didn't get a job. In fact, for the top 5 positions in government, Trump's picks are all white men. For Vice President, J.D. Vance, a 40-year-old white guy from Ohio. For Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, a 53-year-old white Hispanic from Miami. For Attorney General, Matt Gaetz, a 42-year-old white guy from Florida. For Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth, the 44-year-old white guy from Minnesota. And for Treasury Secretary, Trump is considering, you guessed it, more white guys. If Trump gets his way, that means a white guy will replace a black woman as vice president, and a white guy will replace a black man as defense secretary. So I guess it's not the immigrants who are taking black jobs after all. And a white guy will also replace a white woman as treasury secretary. Although white men make up only 30% of the nation's population, they account for 100% of Trump's top advisors. He did pick a white woman, Susie Wiles, to be his chief of staff, an administrative role that does not require Senate confirmation. But it's unclear how much influence she'll have, considering Trump picked Matt Gaetz to be his attorney general without even telling her. It's possible that Trump could pick a black person to be his HUD secretary, because that's the one bone that Republicans love to throw out to black people in every administration. Ben Carson did it in the first Trump administration, Alphonso Jackson did it for Bush, and Samuel Pierce did it for Reagan. But when Reagan met with the nation's mayors, he didn't even recognize his own black cabinet member, and instead greeted him as Mr. Mayor. There is some talk that Trump may appoint Byron Donalds as education secretary, but wouldn't it be ironic to appoint a black man to the one cabinet department Trump says he will eliminate? And even if he does appoint a black person to his cabinet, they won't be there to fight for black interests. They must swear their loyalty to Trump above all. Of course, we shouldn't be surprised by the lack of representation. In his previous term, Trump was the first president since Nixon to appoint no black judges to the federal courts. 0. But we can still be outraged. 8 years ago, Trump asked black people,
"What the hell do you have to lose?"
Since that time, we've lost affirmative action in college admissions, black history in Republican state high school classrooms, black books in public libraries, and black women's right to control their own bodies. And Trump is now planning to bring back stop and frisk policing, give police immunity for their crimes, deport legal Haitian immigrants, pay restitution to white people who he thinks are victims of DEI, and implement Project 2025. So for Tim Scott, Byron Donalds, and all the black Republicans who struck a deal with Trump, next time, fellas, get it in writing.